Good morning and welcome to day 44 on the Appalachian Trail. As you can see, it's a very misty morning. Nothing like yesterday. Had a great night in the tent last night. Was so glad the rain held off. I was able to set up my tent without any problem. And then at midnight, I was sound asleep. I woke up to a torrential rainstorm. Which was fine. We stayed dry and we were cozy, and Micah was all cozied up against me. It was very sweet. But I've got a wet tent now, very wet tent. The fly is wet. So today I'm praying for sun or a space in the shelter tonight, because my plan is to get to the hostel tomorrow. I've got some big miles to do to accomplish that. It might be a little overambitious, but we'll see. Today, I have the choice of doing 10, is it 10, 15, or 19? I forget. I've got to look at my log. Something like that. I'd love to be able to do the 19. I don't know. We did get a pretty good early start. Not as early as I'd like, but breaking down camp when it's wet is it takes a little bit longer, but that's okay. Anyway, we are marching on in the fog. It's got this beautiful misty feeling. I love it all, and hope you're all having a great Saturday. Check in later. Raindrops keep falling on my head, and just like the guy whose feet are too big for his bed, nothing seems to fit. Those raindrops keep falling on my head, they keep falling. So I just did me some talking to the sun, and I said I didn't like the way he got things run, sleeping on the job. Those raindrops keep falling on my head, they keep falling. But there's one thing I know, the blues they send to meet me won't defeat me. It won't be long till happiness steps up to greet me. Ba-da-dum, ba-da-dum. Raindrops keep falling on my head, but that doesn't mean my eyes will soon be turning red. Crying's not for me. Those raindrops keep falling on my head, they keep falling. That because I'm free. Nothing's worrying me. Da 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 bum bum ba dum. Da 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 bum 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 ba dum. Ba da da dum bum bum ba dum. Ba da da dum bum 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 ba dum. Ba da da dum bum bum ba dum. Ba-da-da-dum, bum-bum-bum-bum, ba-dum. Ba-da-da-dum, bum-bum, ba-dum. Ba-da-da-dum, bum-bum-bum-bum, ba-dum. B.J. Thomas sings it much better than I do. Well, the rain has kind of stopped. It's sort of a misty feeling right now. It's actually very pleasant. And the terrain is a little ups and downs, but mostly relatively level, so hopefully we can make some mileage today and figure out a place to dry out my tent. That would be really nice. Anyway, hope you're having a great Saturday. I'll check in later. Bye. We just sat over there by those rocks and had some lunch, and there was wonderful trail magic across the street. I guess that's Highway 91, and I got some Gatorade, which was perfect. And I did open my tent up and dry it out a little bit, but it's still got a ways to go. And we're heading this way, which is kind of cool. We're heading over these fields, and somebody's got a noisy car on the road there. Oh, no, they're motorcycles. So we're heading this way. We've already done 7.5, almost 8 miles. We have 3.5 more miles to one shelter and 11 miles to the shelter that I thought maybe I would get to, but it's almost 2 o'clock, so I don't think I'm going to make it to the shelter that's 11 miles away. But maybe we can find a campsite, as I almost feel like 3 miles is too short and 11 miles is too long. So I'm going to look on my Far Out app and see if maybe there's something in between. But the rain has stopped, which is nice. You don't have to hear me sing any more rain songs today, which I'm sure delights all of you to no end. And it's cloudy, but there's blue sky out there. And I think tomorrow is supposed to be clearer, I believe. Anyway, it doesn't matter. It's beautiful, and we're doing well, and I hope you all are too. All right, we are going to march on. Well, this is cool. So we're walking through this pasture, and there's a barn here with a big AT sign on it. And then there's the mountains out there. But right now, we're a little bit in the flats, which is fine. Nice little change. You can see the Appalachian Trail sign right on the barn. That's so cool. Well, I guess my song about talking to the sun didn't like the way he got things done. Sleeping on the job. Worked, because look, it's sunny, it's beautiful, it's 64 degrees, and somebody built a nice bench here in the middle of the forest, which was after I just crossed those pastures, and I was able to take all my rain gear off and have some water, and now we're gonna mosey on. Where's Micah? Micah, what are you doing back there? Hi, baby. All right, turned out to be a beautiful day. We had wonderful trail magic at Low Gap, and then from there it was another 4.5 or 5 miles to Abington Gap, which would have Abington Shelter, which would have given me 19 miles. But I knew a lot of people were going there tonight, and I came across this site. I know some people call it stealth, some people call it dispersive camping. Whatever you want to call it, I call it wonderful. The sun is setting there. I have a place to make a fire if I want. I have the whole place to myself, and I got plenty of water. The only thing is, when you do this type of camping, you don't have water unless there's a water source close by. But the Trail Magic had so much water that I was able to fill up my water bottles. So Micah and I are going to spend the night here. He's enjoying his kibble, and he had a nice hamburger at Trail Magic. And the AT is right there. So in the morning, all we have to do is jump on that, and I'll have, let's see, I was going to have 18.5 miles tomorrow to get to Damascus. But now, since I'm here, I'm only going to have about 12 or 13. So that's much, much more doable, and happy to do that. Anyway, I'm going to cook something, and I will demonstrate my cook system. Okay, so my cook system consists of a pot. It's a titanium pot, so it's very light. A cover. You need a little fuel. This is what I call my tablecloth or my placemat. But I also, since I'm not at a picnic table right now, I would usually just put this down on the picnic table. But since I'm on the ground here, I'm not going to do that. And I'm going to use this as my pot holder. Okay, then I take out my stove. And this is an MSR Pocket Rocket Deluxe. And what makes it deluxe is you don't have to use a match to it. It has an automatic starter. I always carry a little Bic lighter just in case the automatic starter fails. But so far it hasn't. And I used this one all last summer when I was backpacking and so far on my thru hike. So there's my little stove. Okay, and then I take my little fuel and I take the top off. You want to screw your stove onto your fuel. Make sure this is on the closed position when you do it. And you'll hear some noise when that happens. No big deal. Okay, make sure it's relatively tight, just hand tight. And you put your fuel and your stove down. And you want to find a relatively level spot. This is pretty level right there. No, I like this spot better. Okay. Then you take your stove and you put it on top. Now, tonight I just came back from Trail Magic. So they cooked me an egg, which was delicious. But I feel like I need to have a little carbohydrate. So I'm just going to have some, what am I going to cook? I'm just going to cook some ramen with peanut butter. So with ramen, you need about 2 cups of water. And outside of my stove, I have put the gradations of cups, so I know. Some of the pots come with it already inside. The measurements are inside, but this one didn't, so I just did it on my own at home. So I fill it with water. And now I'm going to turn on the stove. And what you're going to do is just open this valve until you hear the fuel coming out. I can hear it. As soon as I hear it, I just hit this little starter. And it starts. And it boils. Then you can regulate how strong you want it to be. And it boils very, very quickly. I'm going to put the cover on because the pot, obviously with the cover, is going to boil faster. And always make sure these handles are out, because if they're close into the metal, when you go to grab them, you're going to hurt yourself. They're going to be too hot. They actually should be facing me, but I have them facing you so you can see them. All right, so now I'm just going to wait for my water to boil, which is going to take probably 2 minutes. It's really fast. And then I'm going to cook my ramen inside the pot, and I'm going to add peanut butter to it to give it some protein, or almond butter. And I have protein noodles tonight. Otherwise, I would do, if I didn't have the Trail Magic tonight, I probably would have cooked this, which is chicken coconut curry, and you just pour hot water inside it. This is actually a double meal, and it's too much food for me. So I would split it in half, put half in a Ziploc bag, and put the other half in, keep it in there, and you actually pour the hot water in it. And then you wait about 10 minutes, stir it, and you have dinner. So that's how backpackers do it, because everything needs to be light. Pretty much. All right? See, nothing to be afraid of. Just fire. So now my ramen noodles are boiling, so I'm just going to turn it down by turning the little handle and give them a little stir. I don't know if you can see what I'm doing. And then I'm just going to add some peanut butter to it, and and use my chopsticks to stir. And that will be my dinner tonight.